Good evening. We'd like to welcome everybody to the regular school board meeting for April 4th. Mr. File, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Browning.
Here?
Mr. Steininger.
Here.
Ms. Lambden.
Here.
Mrs. Malad.
Here.
Mrs. Webb.
Here.
If we could stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, if we could get a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. File?
Ms. Lambden.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is to approve the minutes of the Thursday, March 7th regular meeting. Again, if you get a motion and a second.
So moved. Second.
Mr. File?
Ms. Lambden.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is board reports in good of the order. We can start with you, Stephanie.
So tonight, we are also going to celebrate some athletes who have signed to play their sport at the next level. I know several of these girls from softball. Kylie Cook is softball, going to Salem University in West Virginia. Rose McReynolds, softball, Marietta College. Taylor Shepard, softball, Kent State University. Ruben Marquez, baseball, Genesee Community College. Xavier McDougall, baseball, Wilmington College, and Leah Johnson from the swim team, Marysville University. We are also so proud of Akia Reinhardt, who took second place in the state wrestling championship. That is so awesome. Congratulations. Also, I'd like to say, for the softball and baseball teams are working hard and trying to play in this questionable weather. The baseball team is doing really well. I'm really proud of them. We have a couple of great pitchers. Softball is doing well. And we'd love to see some of you out there to watch the games and see what's happening with the baseball, softball skyhouse. Thanks.
So we've had an incredible opportunity for our Fairborn High School Air Force Junior ROTC students. Fairborn High School, our Air Force ROTC cadets had the opportunity to learn about the U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemaster and visit with various crew members on Friday during our curriculum and action trip. Cadets interacted with the pilot, the loadmaster, maintainers, aerospace medical specialists, and Air Force flight nurses. Additionally, the cadets ate lunch at the Pittsburgher dining facility with the Air Force service members. So we'd like to give a special thanks to Senior Airman Chance Roy, Ms. Stacy Vaughn, for making this trip possible. Additional thanks to Chief Master Sergeant Martin Foster, Chief Master Sergeant Ryan Andrews, and other Air Force service members who are willing to mentor and visit the Fairborn High School Air Force Junior ROTC cadets during their visit. In addition, I'd like to also congratulate Akia Reinhardt. I watched her wrestling match. If you guys didn't get to watch it, I watched it, live video. Thanks to Waylon Stable for going there and, videotaping while we were getting to watch it. She did a phenomenal job. So congratulations again. Way to represent our high school. Also, I'd like to say thank you for allowing me to be part of the Student Staff of the Quarter this last month. That was a great opportunity for our students and staff to be recognized. I'd also like to say Jazz Fest is on May the 10th. If you guys have never attended Jazz Fest, it's going to be held here at the high school that evening. So we encourage you to come out and listen to our students perform. It's another wonderful evening. Our students do a fantastic job. They've been doing this for at least 10 plus years because I've been involved with it, and It's a great fundraiser for, our music club and our music program. So tickets will be going on sale soon, so keep an eye out for that. Also, Mandy Taylor, environmental science teacher, she's back in the back here. She's going to be selling Eclipse glasses. They are $2 a pair, so if anybody is interested, you can go see her. She does not take credit card this evening, she has said, but she does take cash. So if you'd like to go see her, she's got those for sale. Thank you.
Katie? Hard to follow.
You stole my thunder. All right, we'd like to say congratulations to our Fairborn Intermediate School leadership and staff. FIS was awarded the Ohio Department of Education Momentum Award for academic achievement. The award is given to schools to increase their performance index by 3 or more points from the 2021-22 school year and received a value-added rating of 4 or more stars in the 22-23 report card. FIS students earned 4.5 out of 5 stars, which includes test scores and improving student daily attendance. FCS is very proud of our students and staff at Fairborn Intermediate School, and we share the special award with the Fairborn community.
Okay, FCS is holding an art and essay contest for Earth Day 2024. Entries are due by April 19th, 2024, and can be dropped off at our children's school or at the Board of Education office, 306 East Whittier Avenue. The theme is Planet versus Plastic. Awards will be made on April 28th at 11 a.m. at the high school. There are a variety of events scheduled for the day. Be sure to register now for Earth Day, the 5K walk and run at Community Park. Funds raised will support our local nonprofit, the BW Greenway Community Land Trust, and to be sure to register by April 7th. It's coming in. You can sign up via the website, Fairborn, Facebook and website. Thank you.
First, anybody that's driving around town, you can see the senior banners that are up. It's actually listed on the website, like who's on what street, because it's fun to drive around and find people you know. And that's a tradition. I think it started during COVID. It was a way to recognize seniors during COVID, but it's so neat that we decided to keep continuing it, and then the actual kids get to keep the banners once they're taken down. So I think it's a neat way to recognize the kids. Anybody that's driving by the new high school, if you go down 675, it's pretty obvious. And if you go down Commerce, you can see it's coming along. And we're now less than 2 months away from substantial completion date, right? It's May 31st. So it's exciting, and going into buildings, there's a lot of change even every day as you walk through. They're moving furniture in and those types of things. So it's neat to see that coming along. The last thing I was going to mention is Wendy mentioned Jazz Fest. In the month of April and May, there's also a number of choir and band concerts. If you look at them, be sure to attend because they're really neat to see the kids. And the high school is awesome, but try to see the intermediate band concert. The highest energy concerts you'll ever see with the kids and the job that they do with the kids in the music program at the intermediate. So thank you. Next is recognition of visitors and public comments.
Mr. President, I have 2 people signed up to talk before the board. This time I'd ask Sherry Roller and Jackie Summerfield to come down.
Hi, I'm Sherry Roller. As an alumni of Fairborn High School and a mother of 4 Fairborn student athletes, I am committed to the development and success of all Fairborn athletics. My mission is not only for my children to succeed, but to see all the athletes at Fairborn compete and thrive. Watching my children participate in Fairborn athletics over the past 6 years has revealed that the competitiveness within our teams is often lacking and inconsistent. As a parent community member, this has been frustrating and discouraging. I hope that by the time my youngest son, who is currently in the 4th grade, when he competes at the middle school and high school levels, Fairborn Athletics will have taken the steps to solidify their athletic competitiveness. At a board meeting in March of 2023, I addressed my desire to see Fairborn rise up to the next level. One way we can rise up is by adapting our programs to better meet the needs of the majority of our students. I want to thank the school board for allowing me and some other members of our community and parents to work beside you and try to help improve. So I want this to come across as positive. I'm not bashing anything. I just think that we can do things a little bit better, and I'm all about trying to improve what we can improve. So one of the changes over the past year is that I had an opportunity to act as a weight room volunteer with the female athletes. I first started working with the girls track team in the spring of 2023. We met twice a week in the weight room for an hour before we went down to the track to condition. Although the girls have access to a helpful lifting program called Platform, I quickly noticed while working with the girls that many were trying to lift weights with the incorrect body form. This form puts many of them at risk for injury, and they need more teaching on proper body mechanics and ergonomics before adding weight to their lifting movements. The challenge is that building this foundational knowledge takes time. After the spring, I was asked to lead the girls' soccer team for preseason workouts twice a week. When we began, many of the athletes were starting at square one. I had to build the foundation for lifting when I should be supervising the girls' strengthening in preparation for the upcoming season. This is a varsity team, and I had to teach some of the girls' movements as simple as air squats. What I am proposing is a possible solution to this very challenge. I ask that you consider a curriculum change for our middle school physical education classes. Why not use the time the students have in middle school in their PE classes to provide them with a foundation upon which they can develop their own personal fitness or performance training? This foundation would not only benefit athletes, but can also assist in the proper ergonomics of all activities of daily living and lead to a healthier lifestyle for all. I have to give a drink. I do not like speaking in front of you. Okay. This foundation would not only benefit athletes, but can also assist for all activities of daily living and lead to a healthier lifestyle for all. The curriculum I am proposing is the Intro to Fitness 1 and 2 from Platform. Platform provides a secondary PE curriculum suitable for grades 6 through 12. The material is available on the app in written and video form. It is presented matter-of-factly without judgment, opinion, or political bias. Platform uses certified professionals in fitness, exercise science, and nutrition, and the content is based on widely researched and well-known principles. Although Platform has many programs and workouts to offer PE teachers and coaches, the specific program I am proposing for Bakel Middle School will provide PE teachers with a total of 31 lessons. The curriculum concludes with a baseline fitness assessment. Each lesson begins with guided warm-up, followed by movement education and technique work. Then a workout is prescribed and explained in detail that reinforces the major education points of the day while introducing elements of capacity and intensity. This is an excellent fundamental program. Long-term results come from setting a good foundation. It is crucial that the students not only watch the movements, but that they can perform them correctly. Current research clearly shows that the benefits of strength training for athletes and teenagers are numerous. Benefits include, but are not limited to, increasing cardiovascular health, bone density, stabilizing and protecting joints, supporting mental well-being, teaching self-discipline and self-esteem. Also, improving sleep quality. As you can see, there are many reasons why Platform Intro should be considered as an improvement to the curriculum at the middle school. I realize that it needs to meet our learning standards. I have them all written out. It hits many of the standards, standard 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and many of the benchmarks. Fairborn already has an account and has paid for a license to use the educational content. The Fairborn license covers unlimited staff. There would be no additional charge to the PE teachers at the middle school to use the content because it is something that Fairborn has already purchased. If the teacher wanted to add each child individually, it would cost $1 per child. I do not think that having the kids have individual accounts would be necessary until high school, but that is something that can be discussed, and if needed, the request could be brought to the SAC booster to pay. The use of the Skyhawk athletic funds are not limited to the high school, but are there for the middle school improvements as well. Another reason this program should be implemented is because many of the kids in Fairborn do not have the same support and financial capacity as many students in the area. In many other districts, parents pay for their student athletes to attend extra training, even on top of their practices. This training can be very costly. Many of our Fairborn athletes need the opportunity to have this training during PE classes that teaches movement and proper mechanics to get them ready for the strength training programs at the high school. This could give Fairborn an edge that they might not otherwise have. When these students get to high school, they will be ready with a solid foundation to start weight training if they so choose. How can we raise expectations? How can we set our children up for success? Here is a solution to a prominent challenge within the district. It benefits all students both physically and mentally. We already have the curriculum available to us. We already have the time built into the current middle school schedule. It adds no additional staffing needs. We have state-of-the-art facilities coming. Let's bring state-of-the-art programming to match them.
This is Jackie Summerfield.
Hi, I'm JC Summerfield. I'm one of your athletic trainers here for Fairborn City Schools, and I'm here on behalf of myself and Sherry and our other athletic trainer, TJ Tillman. Sherry just wanted me to speak in support of the program that she suggested, or something similar. As someone who spends a lot of time with our athletes, every sport, every team, I do think a huge improvement could be made if a lot of them knew more of the form coming into high school. I think a lot of them are scared to participate in any type of weightlifting, whether it's just body weight lifting or using any type of weight, just because it's such an unknown to them. And I do think that has held us back in some aspects, especially when I watch us play other teams, and it's incredibly obvious to me that the other team has weightlifted, is stronger than we are. Like I said, I spend every day with our teams, and obviously weightlifting is a huge component of injury prevention too, and that's a lot of what myself and TJ do. So super important to us because we want everybody to be healthy, and then just in the overall academic standpoint, also teaching kids healthy habits and creating that pathway for them to know how to take better care of themselves in the future. And I think anything that we could start sooner would be a huge improvement for overall everyone. So, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We do have one change on the agenda, school district presentations. We will not do facilities update B in order to save some time. Is that correct, Mr. Superintendent?
First presentation for tonight, the class of 2024, the seniors, recently returned from New York. And here tonight we have the class of 2024 senior class officers along with Miss Rebecca Zinn to give us a presentation on their recent trip.
Thank you for having us here tonight. We are here again representing the class of 2024. My name is Jessica Cleaves and I'm the class president. With me tonight are class officers, Vice President Jada Eskridge, Secretary Ryan Gopinski, Treasurer Peyton Baer, Assistant Treasurer Owen Nguyen, and Historian Hader Askar. We have come here tonight to thank you for allowing us to take our senior trip to New York City and to give you an idea of what we experienced.
As a class, we visited the top of the Rock Observatory and we were able to look over the whole city of New York. We traveled by ferry to the Statue of Liberty and visited the Inter-IAM and Interactive Museum in Chinatown. At the end of the first and second days, our entire group met for dinner at Dallas Barbecue and Conley's Pub and Restaurant.
We're not participating in group tours. Seniors are split into smaller groups we call families. Each family designed their own travel plan to visit sites of interest to every member, visiting the World Trade Center, Memorial, Times Square, and adventuring through Little Italy and Chinatown were some of the destinations.
Families saw the Bull on Wall Street, visited St. Patrick's Cathedral, and the Ghostbusters Firehouse in Greenwich Village. Families also experienced riding the subway, walking through Central Park, and shopping on Fifth Avenue. One family toured the United Nations while another visited the Museum of Modern Art and saw Van Gogh's Starry Night painting along with other famous works of art.
A highlight of the trip was attending a Broadway show. This year we saw Back to the Future. With an amazing costume and set design in a flying car, the show had something for everyone and our class loved it. Some of our classmates even got the opportunity to get their playbills signed by members of the cast at the stage door.
Saturday was a rainy day in New York City, but that didn't keep us down. After the entire group visited Inter-IAM, each family set out to see as much of New York as we could on our last day. Some braved the weather to haggle for bargains in Chinatown. Others visited the Met or the American Museum of Natural History. A visit to Grand Central Terminal capped off our trip.
Our class had a great time in New York City and learned a lot. This trip has given us the opportunity to travel to an expansive and diverse city to see what other cultures are like. The annual senior class trip gives many students who would not have had the chance to travel the opportunity to do so. We had outstanding chaperones who made sure this trip was special for all of us. We want to thank all of you again for allowing us to continue the Fairborn High School tradition of taking a senior trip. The memories made by the members of the class of 2024 are ones we will never forget. Please enjoy this brief slideshow of our trip.
seeing the pictures, every year when the seniors go to New York City, and wanted to thank you and the rest of the senior class for representing Fairborn very well, because that makes it very easy for us to approve next year's trip. So just thank you, and I'm glad everybody had a great time.
I'd also like to say, job well done. And as Mr. Browning said, you represented Fairborn and the city of Fairborn very, very well. I'd like to thank Ms. Zink and all your chaperones. That's not an easy trip to put together. It's very pressure packed, and you start way back in August, September planning for that. So kudos to you and all your chaperones.
Yeah, for people that don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, they basically drive all night on the buses and hit the ground running the next morning. So, I know from talking to them, they're worn out by the time they get back because of, trying to sleep on the bus and those kind of things. But it's a great trip. Thank you.
Next presentation is the recognition of academic excellence. That's why we're here, everybody. And the students that we are recognizing tonight need to be congratulated for a job well done. And without stealing Dr. Brackenhoff's thunder here, she will do the presentation.
Good evening, everyone. This year, we are making a concerted effort to try and improve how we share our academic success with our community. Each year, most of our buildings do an honor roll, and we see many of our students excel academically. But we decided to expand that this year and look at our students who are not only excelling academically, but are also putting in lots of extra hours in athletics and music and in our ROTC program. So we're here tonight to recognize the second quarter. We have had so many students on our list, we've had to separate them out, and it's taken us a while to get everyone included. But we do want to recognize them. As I call your name, because we're going to go quickly, first I'll apologize if I mispronounce. And then if you will come down here, walk in front of our board, Mr. Stiegel will give you your certificate. Then you're going to walk back there, and Mrs. Gayhart will have a t-shirt. This t-shirt is only available to these students who have demonstrated a 3.0 academically, but also excel in extracurricular activities. So to begin with, I want to name the sports that have an average GPA of 3.0 or higher for second quarter. That's our girls basketball, boys bowling, cheerleading for basketball, cheerleading competition, swimming and diving, swimming girls, concert choir, chamber orchestra, symphonic winds, junior ROTC class 4, military leadership, and ROTC drill. All of these groups have a collective GPA of at least 3.0 for all of their students. So congratulations to those groups. Now we'll begin. Some of you are involved in more than one activity, so listen for your name more than once, but we will do them by group. We'll start with basketball. Brian Crackle, Gabriel Donnelly, Titan Greggs, Braden Johnson, Luke Kinahan, Jaden Larson, Wesley Roller, Seth Runyon, Jatarian Smith, Matthew Wardle, Tristan Wang, Taiyu Williams. All of the students that don't get a certificate tonight, it will be available in the office along with t-shirts starting tomorrow. We'll move on to girls basketball. Umi Baybar, Jocelyn Elmore, Isabella Hicks, Morgan Holland, Aubrey Jones, Brooklyn Kimball, Jada Mills, Cindy Rigato, Jayla Smalls, and Elizabeth Van Cleve. And I do want to point out, since these girls are slowly coming up in their first group, out of second quarter, the girls basketball team had the highest GPA of all of our groups with a combined average of 3.79. So these girls are outstanding. Moving on to bowling, Hayden Arntz, Tyler Balance, Bennett Hart, Zachariah Kraus, Brady Weiss, Brenley Ball, Claire Campbell, Cassidy Dempsey, Karma Johnson, Avery Johnson, Charlie Meinhardt, Gwyneth Poling, Taylor Sexton, Kendall Terrell, Mila Whitley, Reese Geary, Reagan Geary, Taylor Yoakum. Moving on to cheerleading competition, Cassidy Dempsey, Karma Johnson, Charlie Meinhardt, Taylor Sexton, Kendall Terrell, Caitlin Welch, Mila Whitley, Olivia Williamson, Evelyn Yankus, Taylor Yoakum. Moving on to swimming, Stephen Dunn, Malcolm Hibbert, Jackson Howard, David Ostrowski, Scott Poling, Mackenzie Albright, Riley Allen, Michelle Chandler, Kylie Goodman, Sydney Holmes, Abigail Hauser, Leah Johnson, Keely Lively, Riley Lynn, Emma Miller, Gwyneth Poling, Evelyn Pio, Olivia Pio, Taylor Richardson, Hannah Schroeder, Rain Stepp. Congratulations to our swimmers. Moving on to wrestling, Devin Alexander, Caden Bailey, Gabriel Bailey, Hunter Boyd, Kelsey Boyd, Almari Bird, Kelsey Cleves, Preston Fickle, Zion Glenn, Jaden Hall, Hannah Hawk, Claire Hicks, Carmen Jones, Brianna Kelly, Mason Landon, Riley Lawson, Terry Moore, Carson Phillips, Cash Reeser, Jamar Reed, Ramon Reed, Akaya Reinhardt, and congratulations to her for her state championship placement, Jordan Rivers, Kiara Smith, Quincy Tarver, Serenity Ulmer Ernst, and Dimitri Wall. Congratulations to our wrestlers. We'll give them a second to catch up as we move on to our music program. First, we will begin with our a cappella choir. Alana Akers, Douglas Alford, Brody Brown, Connor Cook, Parker Dilworth, Amberlyn Durbin, Jada Eskridge, Robert Foe, Michaela Guy, Kalia Henry, Grayson Howard, Emmett Humphrey, Tiana Jackson, Kirsten Jank Byers, Isabella Japs, Colton Keel, Riley Lawson, Aaron Neff, Ariana Poindexter, Kennedy Reeser, Summer Schaefer, and Hannah Snyder. Congratulations to a cappella choir students. with the 3.0. We're going to give them just a second here. And the students who are here tonight, remind your friends to go by the office to get their certificate and their t-shirt. We'll start with our next group, which is our chamber orchestra. Alicia Cerrone, Julie Cho, Avery Dominici, Gabriel Henterly, Wyatt Lawson, Ian Livingston, Faith Martin, Taylor Sexton, William Shepard, and William Sledge. Congratulations to our chamber orchestra. Academic excellence. Next, we'll move to our choral union group. Riley Adam, Umi Babar, Jordan Barnes, Kirsten Bates, Miranda Fulham, Isabella Hicks, Abigail Hauser, Amy Knipp, Michaela Palmer, Athena Richter, Cindy Brigado, Maya Rowley, Kiara Smith, and Amaya Walker. Congratulations to our choral union students. Moving on to concert band. Logan Ball, Benjamin Hartman, Avery Johnston, Brielle Little, Brooklyn Little, Charles Moore, Terry Moore, Hannah Schroeder, Calais Sinclair, Brady Weiss. Congratulations to our concert band students. Next, we'll go to concert choir. Kinsley Alty, Abigail Arnett, Brenley Ball, Claire Campbell, Kimberly Cho, Miranda Vicky, Olivia Fries, Adrienne Garrett, Savannah Gilman, Angelina Gundecker, Jenna Hall, Chelsea McKenzie, Bryn Maleeson, Bella Ratliff, Sarah Smith, Caden Stewart, Elena Van Dyke, Stella Williams, Reagan Geary, Reese Yeary, and Taylor Yoakum. Congratulations to these concert choir students. Our Jazz Improv Rock Band Ensemble, a small but mighty group, Gabriel Guthrie, Vincent Matthews, and Lauren Reister. Congratulations to our Jazz Improv Rock Band Ensemble. Next, we'll move on to Symphonic Orchestra. Jessica Cleves, Jevin DeWitt, Stephen Dunn, Hayden Gear, Addison Hart, Benjamin Haskell, Kaylee Kegley, Alexander Livingston, Hans Marlette, Emma Miller, Casey Ondick, Ava Rhodes, Caleb Ryan, Molly Sherrick, Madison Shover, and Brody Smith. Congratulations to our symphonic orchestra. Now we'll move on to our junior ROTC 1 group. Abigail Arnett, Daniel Arrington, Kelsey Boyd, Tolkien Brewer, Abigail Hauser, Toby Inman, Brielle Little, Nolan Lundy, Hans Marlette, Terry Moore, Amy Knipp, Jeff Bilston, Maya Rowley, William Shepard, and Emily Witt. These are ROTC Class 1 students. Our ROTC Class 2 students, Brian Chrisman, Wyatt Hill, Emmett Humphrey, Rebecca Jenkins, Noah Leisure, Braylon Lester, Brooke Norwood, Jordan Smith, Matthew Wardle, Faith Whitaker, and D'Artagnan Zimmerman. Congratulations to our ROTC 2 students. Now to our ROTC 4 students. Ryan Gapinski, Tamaya Jackson, Ramon Reed, Akea Reinhardt, Corey Shields, Brody Smith, and that is our ROTC Class 4. You've probably noticed that many of these students are involved in athletics, in our music program, and some, even a third, are in our ROTC program. Now we'll go to ROTC Military Leadership. Ryan Gapinski, Wyatt Hill, Rebecca Jenkins, Noah Leisure, Brooke Norwood, Ramon Reed, Akea Reinhardt, Corey Shields, Brody Smith, Jordan Smith, Matthew Wardle, Faith Whitaker, and D'Artagnan Zimmerman. And last but not least, our ROTC drill group. Ryan Kapinski, Rebecca Jenkins, Braylon Lester, Hans Marlette, Ramon Reed, Akea Reinhardt, Matthew Wardle, and D'Artagnan Zimmerman. I think I read the same names 3 times in a row. Congratulations to our students. Since you are here, you did not make it here by yourself, and I don't mean literally as in a car to arrive tonight, but your success did not come alone. So students, I would like for you to stand up at this time. All of our students who are recognized tonight, stand up. I'd like you to turn and face your parents, and let's give all of our parents a round of applause for raising such wonderful students. Again, parents and students, we thank you for coming out tonight, but mostly we thank you for the hard work that students you have put in both in the classroom as well as in these extracurricular activities. We are really proud of your efforts. Thank you again.
If you came through the line and you did not get a certificate, come on back up here. I think they've got them now. They found them. So come on back up if you didn't get a certificate.
I had symphonic orchestra. Symphonic wind.
Hi, new principals. How are you?
If I miss someone, we will find them tomorrow. I do not see symphonic wind on my list, but I will write it down and I will find out.
At this time, we'll take a 5-minute break while we're waiting for the students to get their certificates. Parents, students, you're welcome to leave or you're welcome to stay, but this is for the boring part.
I think we all.
Great.
Colton, thank you. Have a great evening. You watch it. I don't know, but I want him to say Matthew Wordle again. He only got 4. Did he get 5? Hey, girl. Oh, no, you're fine.
Great job. You're next.
We will get started in 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Brent, we say please. There's number 13. I don't either.
Monday, I think it was raining. And it was everything I could do, I just like realized.
Mr. President, are we ready to resume?
We are. Okay, next is budget and finance. Really 2 items, the monthly financial report and then the surplus and sale of, there's an attached list of very, very old instruments that are, yeah, they're probably not worth playing. But, so those are the 2 items. If we could get a motion second, if there's any questions, otherwise we'll take a vote. Okay.
Second.
Mr. File?
Ms. Landon,
Yes.
Mrs. Milad,
Yes.
Mrs. Webb,
Yes.
Mr. Steininger. Yay. Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is administrative reports and superintendent recommendations. Let's see, the first vote is on page 5, top of page 5. Also, the top of page 5, there's a request for resolution tribute for 32 years of service with Fairborn Schools for Ruby Strode, the clinical assistant or clinic assistant here at the high school. And that's something, 32 years with our district. We want to say thank you. So if we could get a motion and a second, then if there's any comments or questions. So
Second.
any comments, questions, or anything on the first part of this?
No.
Okay, Mr. File?
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Ms. Landon.
Yes.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Abstain. The next part are the business-related things, and goes to the top of page 6. And here's internet provider with Rebecca, some other things. The big one is the change order, actually reduction in cost for the furniture for the high school, which is awesome.
Significant reduction.
If we could get a motion second, then if there's any thoughts or comments.
Second.
Was that Mrs. Webb?
It was
So any questions on any of the items on here?
$500,000 or $400,000.
Yeah.
Small, teeny tiny reduction, I would say. Huge.
Huge reduction.
So I have a question when Mr. Steiner's done.
Go ahead.
So, E, the change order, 427,942. Is that money we can use toward the middle school?
That is money out of the high school project that we'll use, but we'll also be using bond proceeds from the bond 2023 for the high school. So in essence, this money goes back for the high school, but it will allow more money for the middle school, theoretically, yes.
For sure. Yes.
Theoretically, the pots of money, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. File?
Ms. Landon.
yes.
Mr. Steininger.
Yay.
Mrs. Malad.
Yes.
Mrs. Webb.
Yes.
Mr. Browning.
Yes, motion carries. Next is gifts and donations. Wendy, would you want to do that?
Sure. The Fairborn City Schools Board of Education would like to briefly acknowledge the following gifts and donations. Hall of Honor, Greg and Carrie Johnson, $100. Kelly Neff Turner, $100. The Jennifer Whited Literacy Project, Brent and Gail Cunningham, $100. Thomas and Bernice Mattern, $20. Daniel Schornack, $50. Tim and Vicki Steininger, $300. The Turf Fund, Dalmacoon Printing, $500. Rotary Club of Fairborn, $2,000. Thank you for all the gracious gifts that you have given to our students and to our schools. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Next is work session, Mr. Fire.
At this time, the board will go into a work session for 3 items. We anticipate maybe a half hour, 45 minutes on those subjects. After that, the board will move into executive session for a couple of personnel items. We'll meet at the high school office, and then after the executive session, we will adjourn without further business. We wish to go right into work sessions. They may need a break. Okay. Mr. Superintendent.
Okay, first item is selection of architects for the middle school. Mr. Patrick, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
We had 4 firms submit qualifications and submittals for the middle school bid of the process. SHP, Garmin and Miller teamed up with Richley Brothers. We had a Levin Porter, and we had a triad out of the Columbus area. The district is responsible to have 2 individuals grade those. Mr. Lon and myself grade those. OFCC has 2 individuals grade those and score them based off of a rating system that OFCC provides us. And the 3 top qualifications by scoring were SHP, Garmin Miller, with assistance from Richley, and Levin Porter. So they will be interviewed on
19th.
April 19th, Friday, April the 19th.
We will also need, I think, to be on that committee, 2 reps from this board. So talk among yourselves who that would be.
Ourselves, we'll pick 2 people to be on. Okay.
So you guys will talk at a later time. You'll get back to us.
Yeah.
The interviews roughly will run from 10 to 1, but blank out from 9 to 2:30 roughly.
9:30 to 2:30 is the time set aside.
We want to decide that now, so we're not trying to talk about.
Yeah, I would like to be on it with the involvement I've had.
Do it too if they ask.
I want to be on. I insist.
And you guys
Okay.
talk that among yourselves and work that out.
Mr. Lawley, our new administrator, Lisa Mann, who is here, if the board would like to welcome her tonight. She's on the board agenda.
Hi, Lisa.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We should have pulled that out sooner.
We're sorry.
My apologies, Lisa, I overlooked that, but congratulations, and I'd like to just make a comment about that. We had a team of teachers, through a lengthy interview process, administration and team of teachers were involved in that selection. So it was a great selection, and we're looking forward to having Lisa part of the administrative team.
I think our first duty should be to come down and help us sing happy birthday to Kevin.
Oh, I can do that.
Not in your contract, Lisa.
The next item on the work session is Kettering Health Network, Mr. Philo.
So as you are aware, 5 years ago, we entered into a new contract for training services. Kettering Health Network, we were formerly with Premier. We were paying for the services of Premier, paying for the trainers. We were able to negotiate a 6-year contract with Kettering Health Network, where they provided 2 trainers to us for free, and also gave us a stipend every month to use towards wellness or other things as we saw fit, and some other things. It's been a fantastic working relationship with Kettering Health Network over these last 5 years. But we received a letter from Kettering Health Network's legal counsel that they are terminating that agreement 1 year early. We have a meeting set up with them next week. We anticipate, from what we've heard from other districts, is that they will now be charging for their services and no longer providing anything for free. So sort of back to the model that we had with Premier 5 years ago. So we are going to, our first position is we'd like to keep Kettering Health Network with us for them to honor their contract and provide the trainers for free. However, we doubt that that's going to happen from what we've heard from other districts. So we are looking at other scenarios. There are other companies that provide these services. One is we will go back to Premier. We will see if their position has changed, what their prices are. Kettering is pricing out their services, that we'll then compare them. We are also looking at someone new, Beacon Orthopedics. Is out of Cincinnati, but they've been moving more north. They had expressed an interest in possibly providing the services for free. Our current team doctor is with that Orthopedic Institute right across the street. He had trained under Dr. Kremchek, and so is affiliated with them. They don't have trainers there, but so their board, Beacon Orthopedics board, is meeting next Monday to discuss this. So there may be a good possibility that we can continue with these services for free from Beacon, but we're going to try to maintain a relationship with Kettering Health Network. But in terms of if we get them free from somewhere else and they're going to charge us, we will probably explore that possibility. But it's unfortunate that that contract is being terminated a year early through nothing that we've done. We understand there's some financial stuff on their part that's changed their focus. So we do appreciate the relationship that we've had and that we have gotten those services for free in the past with stipends for other things. So we'll explore that. We will probably have before the board, we'll keep you apprised of how our negotiations go, and probably May, June, July at the latest, probably have a new contract with somebody for you to approve. I just want to make you aware of that scenario and situation.
Any questions? Good. Okay, the last item for work session, board members, sometime back you had requested us to look into the safety film for the high school, the same type of safety film that is on the intermediate windows and the primary. And so at my request, I had Mr. Titley look into it with a few different companies, and he has a little presentation and some info that he'd like to share with all of us.
I wasn't sure it was a little presentation exactly, but over here,
Yeah.
little microphone for 5 minutes. I'm not trying to do it. If you want me to, Gary discuss it.
Here, let me give you the microphone.
We got people in the back.
Okay, you only took 3 minutes last 18. Average that out. Okay, so, where to start? So, about a year ago, we started talking about adding some additional safety film on the front of all the buildings. The high school, this existing high school has had it across the front for about 6 or 7 years now. In talking to you and Mr. Lawley, we made the decision to put some across the front of the primary building, just across the main entrance. And then once that was in place, we also added it to the new intermediate school, and that wound up going all the way around. As we were looking at the new high school, there's a lot of glass there that we thought, okay, let's try to get this short up as much as we can. So we started talking to different vendors. One of them who's local from Fairborn, and then 2 others who are from this general area. In anything that we say that we label as school safety, it is astronomically expensive. The beauty of several of the vendors we talked to, they install this film for businesses and don't necessarily label it as school safety, although it's the same exact thing. But because it hasn't been so labeled, the price hasn't gone up through the roof as it has with many other vendors. This all happened right after the shooting in Nashville, which happened just 8 months ago now, something like that. The first several quotes that we got were exceptionally high, over $50,000. And then the third quote that we got from a vendor, they're not right here in Fairborn, but they are Southwest Ohio, which is Coolview. And then their quote came in. One of the considerations we were talking about when we talked to these vendors was it's going to void the warranty of the windows, because the way that most of the people will install this film is they'll actually pry out an inner rubber gasket. They'll put the film in, and then they'll reinstall a gasket that's not OEM. And the concern is that it will indeed void the warranty. Now, the vendors say, no, it doesn't void the warranty, but we've gotten discussion from both the vendor and the builders who both say different things. However, the vendor I'm talking about right now, which is Coolview, I just had a conversation with them again this morning. They do not take that rubber seal out. All they're doing is adding on top. They're adding the laminate, and then they're adding another seal on top of the existing seal, which doesn't in any way compromise the windows. I'm not a construction person. I have no idea if what they're telling me is a physical or functional fact. However, that's one of their selling points, is we don't have to compromise the structural integrity of each window pane to do this. It just goes over top, similar to a very sticky, expensive curtain, if you will. Even though you can't, it doesn't look any different than the 3M or the other vendors, what they're installing. They've also assured me that it's the exact same material, labeled differently, but it's the exact same material as 3M, which is what we've used in the past for the other buildings. So their price, they came in substantially lower than the other bids, and have stayed in contact. We've got this initial bid came in December, and I've talked to him about once a week ever since December. They've stayed on top of it, and they've touched base, hey, where are we at with this, et cetera. So at this point in time, we have measurements and everything for the new high school all the way around the outside. We didn't do every single window. As I've mentioned to you before, we did essentially what I call the walk-through windows, anything that somebody could break out and then step through. So everything, any of the small tiny windows we did not, but all ground floor windows that we could walk a person or people through have all been quoted in here. And that's the silver as well, the reflective, which is what we have at the entrance of all the other buildings already. So, any questions about the new high school?
So, but that goes all the way around?
It goes all the way around, yeah. So the cost, and again, this is Coolview, that we have the other quotes as well, but they're substantially less expensive, is $29,000.
And that does the whole building?
It does all the way around the whole building.
How does that affect egress if they were to use that window to leave?
You can't break it out and crawl through it either.
Okay.
Yeah, you can still everything open. It doesn't change the functionality of anything. It just can't be broken out. And
I'm just like referring to if kids need to escape that, would they be able to do that?
not unless they can actually open the actual window. Okay. Yeah, breaking out would be very, very difficult. It'll let the glass break, but what it does is it bonds to that.
So it's
If you looked at the shooter in Nashville,
we talked
basically
about
they
this
just
a lot.
shot the glass fell out and walked in the building.
Yes. You said that was the reflective type that's currently at the primary.
It is the same price as clear though as well.
Okay, so there is the option of that same company not to do the reflective.
Yep, yeah, I spec'd this over. Something we found at the primary building is, and especially if you're familiar with where that office is, we have some parents out there all the time standing there waiting to get in and waiting to pick up their kids or whatever, and they're standing there staring at the secretaries in the office. And once we let them into that vestibule, they're in there, and we were having some parents who were recording into the building from that vestibule. By putting that silver on the inside of that vestibule, it kept people from recording to the non-public forums, and also kept people from staying there staring at our office space, which the high school now has, and the intermediate school has at their office as well, and the primary building. So,
Is there an option to like mix it up? Use the silver in places where people might gather and the clear in places where it would not be used?
it is, sure, we could. In my opinion, I believe we should use the silver all around it, but I'm not beholden to that opinion. I like the fact that, and we ran into that at the intermediate school with those giant glass windows across the front. We were having people driving by in the middle of the day, and you could see right in the cafeteria. But when that laminate got put around that, now you can't just see in there, which gives us some additional security.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, we could easily. And when I asked him that very specific question, does it cost more to do silver or less to do? And he said, no, it's all the same price.
Okay.
Just whatever you prefer. Yep. Yeah.
So are we looking at the timing for this?
But I think that's what we're gonna have to get our heads together and talk through this.
Okay.
I'm not sure we have to wait. They turn high school.
Yeah, like after some seasons, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
But
did-
I want we're only talking 6 or 7 weeks to substantial completion thing, so getting everything ready to go.
And they did say that there's a big push, but the state has put out tens of thousands in grants,
Yeah.
and everybody and their brother's got money they're throwing at this right now, and they did say this, and all the vendors said the same thing.
Get it
The quicker you can get on the books, the better, because I said, well, we want to do it right, when we're ready to do it, I'm not gonna.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the balance of the primary?
Okay,
How
so-
much of that's? Oh,
Yeah, so the balance of the primary, all we have done at the primary is the front entrance, both inside and outside of that vestibule, and the wraparound window right there by the main office. I have not talked to Coolview about the primary. When we got the quote for the primary, what we had done, we compared Safe Haven, which, as I mentioned earlier, as soon as we label something school safety, it doubles the price.
Right.
We used them, right? I talked to them, and then we talked to Tin King, which is Dean Carnes, who's local. He has been fantastic to work from us from the get-go. He's always been about half the price of Safe Haven, and has bent over backwards. He was in the old high school here to do the inside vestibule at night, because he didn't want to affect the kids. So he's been fantastic to work with. But I did not talk to Coolview when we got the primary quote. So this primary quote is now a number of months old. It's going to have changed a little bit, but not much. I did not call him to refresh with, which I will get to in a second. The quote he has to finish the primary, which I know I have it here, is about $30,000 to finish going around the primary. Now, I haven't compared how many linear feet is at the primary compared to the new high school, but I talked to Coolview today. I said, be ready to come out and give us a good quote at the primary as well. I would imagine it's going to be substantially less. I don't know that for a fact. Dean is using, from Tin King, is using 3M, which in talking to Coolview, I said, how is it you're doing apples to apples and we're so much cheaper? He said, if he's using 3M, it's almost twice the price of our material, which Coolview manufactures their own materials. So no matter how much of a price break they can give us, Coolview is still going to wind up cheaper because their materials costs are just less. Yeah. So I didn't know what you wanted me to do after today, but I did not tell Coolview we needed a quote, but I said, there's a good chance I'll be calling him back to say we need a quote
Does
for
it make
that as
sense to
well.
get a quote from Coolview for? Yeah. So let's go ahead and do that.
Okay, I'll take care of that tomorrow. They were fantastic. They were very, very quick to come out and talk. And like I said, he's stayed in contact. And they have Fairborn. They do have Fairborn contacts. Their owner does. And he's told the salesperson, no matter what they got to do, they want our business. So that's where we're at.
So we'll have to vote on this, correct? It's above what we need to.
Depends, if it says a change order, you'll have to vote on it. If we purchase it outright, you'll not have to vote on it.
Okay.
It's an administrative decision.
so it makes sense to be able to get it on the books. If we know, like, as of August 1 theoretically, then can we plan it for before school starts? How long will it take to do?
I don't know, honestly, you said 20 minutes for lots of I can find out, and it's going to depend on who's in front of us as well, you know, from the time we say, hey, go, here's the deposit, it'll depend on who's in line in front of us.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
This should not be done as a change order, should be done as a purchase order.
Yeah.
Right.
Change order goes through the architects, everything will be direct purchased by the school district.
It's really not part of that process.
Right.
But I would think we ought to set a goal of getting it done before school starts in August.
Is that even, is that possible?
Is that possible? The faster we tell them we wanna go, the faster.
I'll have that conversation with him tomorrow. He seemed to think that they could get, because they're not pulling which I didn't even understand when he first told me,
Yeah.
because they're not pulling that seam out,
Right.
the installation is significantly quicker, and they have, he was very detailed in his measurements. What everybody else has done is they get a ballpark, and then they come out and they cut it on seam and put it in. He said, no, that's not how we do business. We show up and they're stacked up, ready to go. We just basically walk right around the building, slapping them up. They're already pre-cut and everything.
Okay.
So he didn't seem like the actual installation time. He was like, yeah, this is not good. We can do this quick. Because they're not having to destroy that seal and then reseal everything.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we ought to have a goal of having it.
Goal.
Fine.
A goal.
Yeah.
If we miss it, we miss it, but it's a target.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Any other questions about any of that?
Good job.
Thank you.
Board superintendent, I have 30 seconds, more thing for work session. In terms of last month, a little bit about the finances related to the contracts. Next month, you'll be voting on the revised 5-year forecast. I'm going to update you on the property taxes. We talked about what the county auditor's estimates were. I showed you a number at 90% of that. We got final settlements in for the spring taxes. They were $250,000 below what I'd estimated, which means it'll only be $500,000 less than what I estimated for the year. So it's still a pretty good number. That'll be reflected in what you have before you next month, and I'll do a PowerPoint presentation on it. So just want to update you before then on that.
Thank you.
With that, we will entertain a motion to go into executive session for the specified purpose of the appointment, employment, or compensation of public employees.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Browning?
Yes.
Mr. Steininger?
Yay.
Ms. Landon?
Yes.
Mrs. Milan?
Yes.
Mrs. Webb?
Yes.
We go into executive session. We will, any other action, we'll just adjourn out, move out of executive session, and then adjourn. No other action items anticipated this evening.